A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine asked if I wanted to go hiking at Jack London State Park, and of course I said yes. But she didn't know who Jack London was, and she wasn't really interested in anything else the park had to offer except the hike. So I've come back up here to be a tourist and see where Jack London lived. This park was his home, and if you don't know who Jack London is, he was an American novelist in the 20th century. He wrote books like Call of the Wild, and others. He initially bought this farm in Glen Ellen, California, which is about an hour and a half north of San Francisco, in, I don't know, 1906, something like that. He bought just a few hundred acres, and over the years he expanded it to 1,400 acres by 1913. The first thing that I want to see is Jack London's cottage. It is where he lived until his death. That Jack London wrote in. He was building his dream house called the Wolf House, but it burned just 2 weeks before they were supposed to move in. So he added to this house, adding this room. The desk that's next to the roll top desk is where he would actually sit and write. He slept in this simple porch off of the study, so it was easily accessible for work, and he used a clothesline to hang up thoughts and ideas for books. I'll admit, I'm a bit awed to be standing here in the same house, in the same room where Jack London worked. It's pretty impressive. Here's the porch that they're doing the renovation on. Again, I am just sort of in awe of being able to visit a place where such a famous author lived and worked. It's pretty impressive. Another part of the park that I didn't get to see when I was here a couple of weeks ago is called the Pig Palace. So that is my next stop. All right, Pig Palace, here I come. It was worth the trip from San Francisco to Glen Ellen to see the Pig Palace. I know that sounds silly, but this is just pretty darn cool. So Jack London designed this circular pig pen to make it easier for the workers to take care of the pigs, and also for cleanliness. Cholera was still an issue. It had wiped out a neighbor's hog production or pig farm, so he wanted to make sure that that wasn't an issue here. So he designed this circular area. He also wanted to make sure that the hogs he was breeding were healthy, and he felt like by doing something like this that I mean, of course they were going to be killed, but killed for food, but still, they should have a good life ahead of time. And he felt like this type of setup, cleanliness, would really help improve the livestock of his pork. And he was right. His pork was continually the best of the best when it was taken to market. So, pretty impressive. The neighboring farmers laughed at him when he opened it, hence the name, the Pig Palace. They thought it was a waste of money. But London said he was going to recoup the cost of building it in 1 year alone, just based on the savings from labor costs. You could have one person tend 17 pigs in this kind of setup. I think what I really like about it is the ingenuity of it, the thoughtfulness that he went into when he designed this, that he was concerned about cleanliness, the health of the pigs, as well as the health of the people around. Cholera is not an issue today, but it was a huge issue back then. So by doing something like this, he is taking care of his livestock. He is helping provide food for the people who live around here. He's got employment for his farmers and taking care of people and their health. So, you know, all the thought that goes into that, I think it's amazing. Behind me are the remains of Jack London's wolf house. This was his dream house. Construction started in around 1911 and finished in 1913, and they were just getting ready to move in when it burned down. The structure was supposed to be built to last 1,000 years, and sadly, no one ever lived here. This is one of the coolest parts, I think, of the wolf house. We have a picture of an unidentified couple looking at the reflection pool and then the pool itself. So you can imagine just what it was like back then, and it's sad. Behind me is the House of Happy Walls. Jack died at the age of 40 in 1916. Charmaine lived another 40 or so years, and she dedicated her life to promoting him and his work. She built this house after he died, and she called it the House of Happy Walls because she put artifacts on the walls from all of the places they had visited. It is now a museum, and it's really interesting. It is free. You can make a donation. There are bookcases that have all of the first editions of his books, all kinds of exhibits inside, so definitely worth stopping by to see it. Behind me is the first crop of eucalyptus trees that Jack London planted. He was thinking that you could use eucalyptus trees as wood for furniture, for utility posts and things like that. And it's a fast-growing tree. Unfortunately, it's not good for that. The only thing that eucalyptus trees are good for is firewood. So that experiment in farming was a failure. Another experiment that failed was the spineless cactus. He wanted to grow it and use it as feed for livestock, but it didn't work out so well. First of all, even though it's spineless, they would grow their spines back sometimes, and it took a lot of water for them to grow, and they didn't have as many nutrients. But still, even though this failed, the eucalyptus trees failed, London was committed to sustainable farming techniques, and he kept trying new things, and some of his sustainable farming techniques are still in use today. That was so much fun, and you can see it's still daylight out. I am headed back to San Francisco. You could easily do this as a half-day or a full-day event and then head back into San Francisco for the evening, or you could stay up here in Sonoma County or Napa and visit some wineries tomorrow. It's all up to you. There is plenty to do. But if you're in San Francisco and you're really interested in finding out more about Jack London, this is a great state park to go to. There's a lot Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching.